Hi, I'm Vlad, Drone Fight Group, Drone Fight Club. But today we're going to talk about the Ukrainian Fight Drone Simulator. Here we have the product owner, the key brain of the simulator, Yurii.
Good afternoon.
Let's show our simulator today. And this video will eventually contain a lot of interesting footage, many interesting features, because there is a lot of information. We have been developing this simulator for 2 years now. Many said we wouldn't release it. Many said the project was closed. But in fact, we wanted to make it very, very cool, and also as realistic as possible. As we say, ultra-realistic.
This is ultra realism, and we will explain to you exactly why this is the case.
Let's go. Let's start.
Our simulator consists of 3 sections of the main menu. This is the Academy, Battleground, and Settings. In the settings, we can configure the remote control for our tasks. Experienced pilots immediately notice the key functions that need to be bound to the switches of each remote. For us, this is working with the bomb, with the camera, and flight modes. Graphic settings will be very familiar to you if you played games. Here are all settings of graphics, shadows, textures. All this can be configured here. In the game settings, you can change the language, adjust the sound, and turn on or turn off some functions that can help you. For example, on takeoff, pre-flight checklist can also be disabled or enabled, as well as some other things. In the Academy mode, we have several courses.
Let me add a bit more info about it. The project started 2 years ago, and Drone Fight Club started from the beginning of the full-scale war. The Academy was created not just as a let's make sort of a sandbox and fly. It was something else. The guys worked in tandem with Drone Fight Club instructors, as well as instructors from other schools, Kill House, and also many other training centers. And all the missions developed here were created not to make drone races or something like that. They were created step by step exactly in the same format as a pilot is trained in many training centers. This simulator provides one of the most important opportunities to start flying with minimal crashes. That is, you first fly in the simulator, complete all these missions, which Yurii will now tell about. And after that, transitioning and starting to fly a real drone becomes very harmonious. That is, you will very easily understand that everything that is done in the simulator is the same as in reality. And this is exactly the simulation we were striving for 2 years. Tell me all about how we did it, and what we always argued about and tried to do.
So we faced the task of making a simulation of an FPV-type drone, but with weight signal. The performance is significantly influenced by the prevailing weather conditions and various other combat-related factors during execution. In contrast, other civilian simulators, which are widely available on platforms such as Steam and the broader market, unfortunately do not provide this essential capability. So, fundamentally, we approached this by developing a truly high-quality and in-depth simulation, specifically focusing on the drone's physics. I can demonstrate this for you. So we have a mission here where we're flying an empty drone.
What kind of drone is this one? Is it 7 inches?
This is a standard 7-inch drone. It currently has no payload weight, but everything else about its configuration is very similar to what you would typically find in most conventional simulators. It's powered by a 6S2P battery, so there is no additional cargo or any kind of payload attached. And at this particular stage, we are able to accurately compare its flight physics and characteristics with other existing simulators.
A quick question. So, we've just launched this mission. This is without?
Zero gravity.
Without any weight, without any weather?
Yes, without weather.
You already broke the drone.
I released the remote control because I wanted to activate the simulation to demonstrate what exactly happens with the drone. So I can change the camera view from a third-person perspective, and also I can enable the graphs, which will show us the real-time simulation of each individual motor.
I can see that there are motors here, a battery, and an ESC. This means that each individual component is being simulated separately. So, is this just a fake, or does it actually all function together?
This isn't a fake, because in my opinion, creating a fake would be even harder. We took the core code from a flight controller as our foundation. For instance, similar to how it works in Autopilot. We set up the motor curves based on thrust and the number of RPM.
Here I observe you apply a small amount of throttle, and it immediately takes flight. We then clearly see the engine's performance curve. It is constantly changing.
Yes, I'm now shifting my view to the first-person perspective, and we can clearly observe how the amperage and the voltage readings are dynamically adjusting in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And all this is calculated simultaneously and consists of this block of mathematical code for drone control. So without weight, it feels quite light.
But it's very powerful, 7 inches.
Yes, without any weight, it feels incredibly light.
To hover in place, let's see how many amps. Well, this is what it takes to hover. 15, 14. Oh, are you flying up?
I'm probably being blown a bit by the wind.
There is no wind.
Perhaps it has already begun.
The weather's changed.
Yes, dynamic weather conditions can certainly generate wind.
So, about 12 to 13 amps. And we hover.
Yes.
Now we move on to another mission. This mission shows the guys how to fly without wind, without a load. Now we need to have a load.
It is the very same drone.
It's the very same drone, the one that's familiar to everyone, the PG-7VEL. It's weighing a little bit more now. I can clearly see that the drone's weight has definitely changed. So let's go ahead and try to take off now. Let's give it a little bit of throttle. We can see that at 50%, it's just barely lifting off the ground and drawing 23 amps. So, and we're reducing, that is, 24 to 25 amperes are needed. This means the physics of battery usage has changed, so the motors operate differently and more throttle is required. So, if someone has never flown with weight, and this is a very specific situation, because everyone used to fly drones without payload, then when they receive a drone and some weight is added to it, the drone becomes heavier. And very often indoors or outdoors, drones were crashing because it was simply impossible to properly simulate this scenario in any other simulators. So this is something that we can actually manage to do right here. And now this is what we've got.
I wanted to demonstrate.
And this mission has none of it.
What is it about?
Overheating of engines.
This one doesn't have it. It's a training one. But here there's air drag, which is air resistance affecting speed when we simply fall. And if I level the drone, we see how this graph grows because...
And look, yes, you see the inertia from the fall is still present.
Yes, the inertia from the fall makes it difficult for me to change my trajectory very quickly, so I have to activate it beforehand. But as we can see, when I ascend to a certain height, and I simply let the drone fall, I release the motor with 0 throttle. We can observe that when I'm positioned vertically, then the air drag, which is air resistance, becomes minimal. But here, I position myself horizontally, and this resistance I'm experiencing intensifies. So I then give it full throttle, apply more gas, and pull out of this dive or fall.
All right. Now show us what happens with the wind and the payload.
And now, yes, for comparison, it's the very same map, the very same drone, but we have wind, a crosswind. It begins right away.
The takeoff is the same. But you can see the drone is also being blown away, so you need to compensate with roll in order to fly in a straight line.
Yes.
This is completely absent. I haven't seen it in any simulator, and this provides a unique opportunity to teach the guys who are eager to learn a maximally realistic understanding of how a drone will truly behave. With weight, and with various other things, by winds and so on and so forth.
We can continue now. We can talk about the bombers. So after the training course, you will gain the necessary skills to pilot the drone. But we understand that on the front line, there are many tasks that also require tactical skills.
Let's talk a bit more about the Academy, because I see many missions. We've shown how to fly with and against the wind. What do I want to emphasize? Flying fast, that's not the problem. In wide open spaces, it's no problem at all. You just hit the throttle, soar into the sky, and then you're flying around up there, fearing absolutely nothing, and so on. However, a truly skilled pilot, as all experienced pilots and instructors will readily confirm, is the one capable of flying at extremely low speeds, even maintaining a stable hover. Here, a great many missions have been specifically designed to develop the essential skills required for exceptionally controlled flight. For example, you can see there are these wheels here, and you have to fly directly through them, as well as through various pipes. And then there's this labyrinth, which is essentially a complex track winding through a maze, and it's extremely difficult to complete successfully if you haven't yet learned to precisely control the joysticks on your remote. A very important skill, such a trajectory, and it might not just be a standalone development, where it flies to one object, then to another, but rather it's already like a well-established route that has evolved over time. And the guys who are completing this track, they record their times, and then they can see who's performing better, who's performing worse, and so on. And also, a damage system has been developed for the drones. So how does it actually work? Could you please tell us about it?
For instance, I have a small drone, a Whoop, for practice. As we can see, it has propeller protection. So with minor collisions with various surfaces, it won't break, right? Here we have a small stand for comparison. This Cine Whoop model, its characteristics are right here. If you use a similar model with these characteristics, you can verify that, as it is written here, the throttle value up to 21 specifically prevents the drone from taking off, but above that, it allows it. It's exactly the same in our simulator. So, with a small drone, we've observed how it's entirely possible to make contact with the surface without causing any damage. But if we were to take, for example, a much larger drone, one that I intend to fly with a bomb, then yes, I could certainly try to implement a variety of different approaches. And each weight will, in direct correlation with its specific properties, significantly influence the overall operational behavior of the drone. I'm going to leave this one.
Basically, on this screen, when we select a drone, we can change everything. The payload, the batteries. All of this will somehow alter your drone's physics within the simulator and so on. And right now we have a drone that isn't protected at all. If it crashes into something, it will break. See? Crash, and we've broken the drone. But what I want to tell you is this. You see, nothing has detonated. Because even the detonation and even the ammunition, all of this is manufactured in such a way that it functions exactly as it would in the real world. And for the detonation to be truly realistic, you need to connect an initiator. But not on this mission.
Here's the initiator for the bomb.
All right, then let's just detonate the bomb and demonstrate what will happen. We'll blow up half of the entire hall.
Well, maybe not half the hall, but...
You see, the bomb just detonated here. The simulator allows you to fully test all procedures, understand the drone's physics with weight, with wind, even with rain, and create the most realistic conditions for training.
For example, I can demonstrate this to you on a mission with a bomber.
A combat mission.
It's a combat mission, yes, and we have a target which is located away from us.
What is this? How much is the distance?
At a particular distance, and we could take its measurement right now.
All right, come on.
Therefore, considering the position that we currently maintain...
What is 249? Oh, these are the heights.
This is the altitude above the level of the sea.
This is a map of elevations. But what kind of map is this? Is this Portugal, by any chance?
No, this is actually Klishchivka.
It actually looks like Portugal.
It seems, I hope.
Lakes. What we're seeing here are the elevation levels of this map.
We can see that our distance is 8.8 kilometers to the target. And along the entire path, we can check the altitude level. This is important for us to understand the signal strength. So if
Radio horizon.
yes, that's about the radio horizon. If we fly into low-lying areas, then because of that, it affects us. The signal quality can significantly degrade, and we could potentially lose the drone. That's why the radio horizon is a very powerful navigational instrument for any pilot. We have specific settings for the ground station, as well as the antenna's height, and we can also add a signal repeater to further enhance the signal strength. Next up, we have the weather settings available to us. This means we can, for example, set conditions like rain or fog or even clouds. For instance, I can easily set the fog level, or I can adjust the wind to be calm, which essentially means there's almost no wind at all. This also includes its direction and the specific time of day.
Excuse me, I have a small question. So we could, for instance, take a map of Klishchivka and then set up the actual real-time weather conditions that are present there today or tomorrow and all that kind of stuff, and then perform a thorough mission checkup to assess just how realistic it would be to successfully complete this mission. For example, we have 8 and 8 kilometers. We might take a very heavy munition, a small battery, and then, for example, we'll encounter a headwind, and after that, we simply won't be able to reach the target. Or conversely, we might be able to reach the target because we have made the correct calculations.
So immediately we're given some hints. If we select a payload weight that is heavier than what our drone is capable of carrying, then this overload is immediately highlighted. That's because...
What exactly could that be? Is it the technical specifications, or the engine calculations, or specifically how it's manufactured?
This was carried out based on the official specifications of the drone, which were inputted here.
This is a real drone, right?
Yes, this is the Angel Aero drone, model number 15.
The one that you developed?
Yes, which, by the way, we developed. I've got 2 bombs. I'm switching to loiter mode. This is maintaining altitude and position. With 50% throttle, I can remain stationary. I'm currently drawing about 25 amps. Battery load, I drop 1 bomb and the current immediately drops by 5 amps. We see how the drone swayed, meaning the change in its center of mass physically affected it, and it compensated. I drop another bomb and we see 5 more amps gone. So the drone simulation with weight is technically complete.
We talked about the Academy. The guys finished their studies, and what are they supposed to do?
They need to maintain their skills, their abilities. That's why we have developed a distinct game mode called Combat Zone. Currently, it operates in single-player mode, meaning it's exclusively for one user, but with subsequent updates, it will be expanded.
Multiplayer's coming.
Yes, there will be multiplayer, and it's going to be quite interesting. So we'll also have a standard map. And we're located somewhere near Klishchivka, and our mission is to defend the dugout, our very own dugout. We have several drones to choose from. The main thing in this mode is that we can control 3 drones simultaneously with 1 remote.
Scout, kamikaze, bomber.
For example, from these 3 available slots, we have the option to choose a scout first. We require the scout in order to gain and maintain full control over the designated position. This means that right here, we can already clearly see the enemy forces rushing in.
There are 2 of them.
The enemy forces are already advancing on our position. Our crucial mission is to firmly secure the drone in a comfortable position for us. There is no bomb on it. We are switching to flight mode. We're adding a little more throttle. And now when I switch over to the internal menu, I can select the Phantom drone, but at the same time, I'm choosing the map, right? And on it, I then select the camera of our scout drone on it.
How can you?
All right, and now we'll proceed.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's really awesome.
Okay, now I clearly see the destination where I am permitted to fly. I'll immediately activate the bomb. I am going into the acro mode now. And I clearly see my objective. that's throwing grenades at my position. I flew right over it and completely missed the target because it was a little bit awkward to aim. But I have a second attempt now. This time I'm going to be...
You must train, Father, you must train.
I'm going to get some practice in. My drone is still hanging up there.
I can tell right away you didn't finish the academy.
Just what we did. All right, the enemy bot has been successfully eliminated. I can also, at the very same time, choose, for example, a bomber aircraft. And for example, we must quickly move to the left flank. I see that the infantry is already deploying on the ground. There is also a BTR.
The BTR drove away.
This is how I'm able to drop bombs.
You missed.
The bots might become aggressive and start shooting at me.
Hey, look, they'll have already destroyed the base before you even learn how to drop. Oh, you hit it.
Yes, I have completely destroyed it. I always make an effort to carry out these kinds of raids on them because they possess the capability to shoot back. I can certainly demonstrate this to you right now.
So you need to throw it from a hanging position from a great height, like the guys do. Come on, throw, throw, throw.
No, I want him to aggro me. You see, he's starting...
He'll hit you.
He begins to open fire on me, so I quickly ascend a little bit higher, and then I launch my attack. No, I actually managed to eliminate him, so there's definitely some skill involved here, and my next objective is to fly away and perform a full reload. So it means that it also requires a certain level of skill to successfully land the drone within this designated area.
Evacuation is already necessary there.
Yes, we have it. It was designed so that in multiplayer mode, when we are, say, 3 players using this game mode, we'll be able to defend ourselves quite effectively. But right now, for a single player, for just one pilot, it's difficult to achieve this, though it is certainly possible. So you need to
stay very focused.
Being completely focused on tasks.
And how many missions is it able to complete right now? So this is a tower defense type of game, isn't it?
Yes, this is something quite similar to a tower defense game where we absolutely need to protect ourselves. As you can clearly observe, they immediately begin to aggro on me, and then another one starts running. Now, both of them are actively running in my direction, but I believe I can manage to pull off a rather clever maneuver. As you can plainly see, he fired a shot directly at me, but a powerful bomb then detonated, and its deadly shrapnel finished him off.
You are so cunning. And can they just automatically throw at you?
Not yet, but they will certainly try. We have a separate mission for training fine motor skills.
We're waiting for an automatic weapon. And do you have a shotgun? To make them fly?
We've even got a shotgun, you know. Can you even imagine that? We could possibly...
Is fiber optic service available?
There's also fiber optics, but I won't show it to you today because it's a secret development. I apologize, but there are certain things that we cannot release into the public domain. And this is a shotgun that can fire 4 rounds at the same time. And this mission, it might perhaps seem a little bit entertaining to some, but...
And shooting down, yes, shooting down drones with a shotgun or... Occupiers?
The enemy invaders.
The occupiers. Why don't you just go and hit someone?
This is how it actually appears. Quite strong.
We need to set up the grenade launcher and then fire it.
We actually have a grenade launcher.
What's happening? Everything is ruined.
But this is quite experimental. It's a very experimental development. You see, it completely blocks my camera. Look, you can see it. You can see it. He's starting to shoot at me. Even if he spots me through the window, he's going to shoot.
It's exactly like in the game Doom.
So I need to do what's necessary.
Just shoot him already. Take him out and let's get this finished. Off target.
The target was hit. It is destroyed.
Is it destroyed? That's just wonderful.
I got in, specifically through the window.
Nice one.
And here he is, just lying right here.
Beautiful.
I can still fire. I have more shots left.
Fire, fire.
So flying between trees or navigating among buildings, this is the kind of intricate maneuver that's possible to achieve. And I take my shots.
Awesome. So, we've done a quick review of UFDS, Ukrainian Fight Drone Simulator. We've seen the physics, we've seen the missions, and even spotted some bugs. And I believe you now understand why we spent 2 years developing this simulator. Because this is a truly exceptional product, which offers the unique capability not just to simulate the flight of a drone. It provides the opportunity to simulate a completely realistic mission directly on the front lines. And this represents such a powerful and indispensable element for the future training and preparation of our pilots. Thank you for watching this video all the way through, and we will continue to shoot more videos. Yurii?
Thank you all for your attention. Use our simulator to learn how to fly and defend our homeland. Goodbye.
See you